Well, it's a typical night. I didn't get home early. In fact, I got home really late. So we're going to throw together Sloppy Joes, and these are really simple and really easy. This is actually my mother's recipe. It's Betty Crocker, but this is the one that she makes. But we put a stalk of celery, half an onion, some pepper, green pepper, red pepper, whatever one you've got, a pound of ground beef. The mustard goes on top. A shake or two of Tabasco. Nothing over the top. This isn't going to be spicy. Ketchup, Worcestershire, salt and pepper, and a little bit of water. And this is how we make them, real quick and easy. This is just the one stalk of celery, and I'm just cutting it into really small pieces. We're going to cut up all the veggies, and then we're going to put it in with the meat and cook the meat. It calls for a third of green pepper. I don't have a green pepper, so we're just going to use the red pepper. And as you see, I'm cutting these pretty small so that they all cook through. And for the onion, I'm only using a half. Believe it or not, I do not have a Rottweiler under me tonight. I bought him a dental bone at work, and he is happily over there. I unfortunately have a little 5-pound no-neck gray kitty under my feet. So we'll see if any of his antics get caught on camera today. Okay. And we will get all of this put in the pan with the ground beef and get the ground beef cooking. I've got it all starting to cook, and while the meat cooks, it's gonna cook all those veggies into this. And they'll all be nice and soft by the time we're done. We're going to make the sauce while the meat cooks. So in here, we're going to put in 1/3 of a cup ketchup. Just make it in the measuring cup. That way it is easier. That's 1/3. You're going to add in 1/4 of a cup water, 1 teaspoon Worcestershire, and don't be scared, it is Tabasco, and keep in mind, I've told you a million times, I don't like hot. A couple of drops, and that's it. It just gives it something. Trust me, I don't want it hot. We're going to throw some salt and some pepper. And give this a mix. Once the ground beef and veggies are already cooked, we will pour this in and let it cook back down and thicken, and we'll put these on some hamburger buns with some mustard. I've drained the ground beef, and we're just going to add that sauce in that you saw me make. A lot of them call for tomato sauce, and then you add brown sugar. Because the sugar is already in the ketchup on this, you don't have to add anymore. And give it a good mix and let it come back up and bubble a little bit. And we'll be ready to have dinner. And that's all there is to tonight's dinner. We're just gonna put these on hamburger buns, open face with some ketchup, with some mustard. It's my favorite way to have them. Also, we toast the buns. Just makes it so they hold together a little bit better. But if you like recipes like this, simple, able to get on the table, would you please subscribe and come back and join me a couple times a week? Tonight, I'm going to do a stick of butter rice with some mushrooms and chicken thighs on top. And we're going to throw this all into a casserole dish and bake it for about an hour. So this is one of these dishes you can come home from work. You could even have had this prepped, throw it in your oven, and you've got an hour to do whatever you need to do, and dinner's done. We're going to serve this with a side salad tonight. Nothing special here. If I had thought this through, I would have picked up some mushrooms, but I have a can of mushrooms in my pantry. It's one of these nights where a well-stocked pantry really comes in handy. I've got some rice. I've got a can of beef consomme, French onion. I'm going to use the butter, garlic, and herb Kinder seasoning, a stick of butter, and chicken thighs. I'm probably only going to do 4 of these. In our casserole dish, and this is a 9x9, but it's a deep dish, so you can see my hand. We're going to take 1 cup rice. I'm going to go ahead and add I drained the mushrooms, and you don't have to add mushrooms. There we go. We're going to add in an entire can of beef consomme. Add in an entire can of French onion soup. We're going to throw the chicken thighs on top. It's better to use thighs for this because we're going to cook this for an hour. And if you did the chicken breasts, then I would say only put the chicken breasts in about halfway through. And we're going to just make sure they're just sitting on top. And like I said, I'm only going to do the 4 because that'll give us just a little bit extra. We're going to take the seasoning, and you can season with whatever you want. I am just going to do the Kinder's buttery garlic. It goes along with the whole theme. I'm going to pull this one up just a little bit. There we go. Now, the final step, you're going to take your stick of butter. You could, in all honesty, and I'll do it just to prove a point. There we go. Because that's all you have to do when you make the stick of butter rice. And I've done a couple different recipes with the stick of butter rice as the base, and this is just another idea. And like I said, we're gonna serve this tonight with a salad. Take your foil and make sure it's really good and sealed. My oven is preheating to 400, and that's it. That's all I have to do. And in about an hour, I will take the foil off. I will probably turn the broiler on for maybe 5 minutes, run it under the top just to see if I can get a little bit of color on the chicken thighs, but you don't have to. And that's dinner tonight. So here's the thing. It's not the prettiest, but it is definitely delicious. Give this one a try. You won't be disappointed.